Okay, listen, don't be rolling your eyes and talking all kind of shit because I've been gone for 2 weeks. I really had a valid reason. I really wasn't being lazy. I had a family emergency. I did watch it because I had my laptop. I was prepared to edit on my phone, record on my phone and edit on my laptop, but things just didn't work out because my energy needed to be expended elsewhere. As you can see, we are not in our normal spot. We are in my living room. We'll probably be changing around every week because I need to figure out a new place to record. I'm giving up my office to my son. Child, let me tell you something. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. What's up? How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? We are reviewing Married at First Sight, season number 10, episodes number 6 and 7. If it is your first time here, I'd like to go couple by couple. And because I don't want it to be really long, if it wasn't nothing good going on in number 6, I'm going to give a little bit brief synopsis and go on to that couple for episode 7 with some kind of distinction. Some of it, is blurred lines, okay? Just as a little bit of a preface, episode 6 is full of their last day together. The boat ride, kind of a couple blow-ups, and then 7 is where we start getting to the nitty-gritty because we ready to see how these people interact together as a family, as a unit, as husband and wife at home. Let's start with Katie and Derek. Episode 6. Katie thought it was nice to go ahead and, he wanted to see the Panama Canal and thought it would be nice for her to take her husband to eat at the Panama Canal. Ladies, it is nice to consider them. They like when they are considered, just like we want to be thought about and want to be heard. The fellas want to hear it too. One of the big things that they talked about was dogs in the bed, child. Now, if you rocked with me with Ready to Love, you know that there was a big to-do about dogs. And I'm one of those people that don't like dogs in the bed. So it would have been a problem for me. My cousin, her dog sleeps in the bed. My dog, no bed for you, okay? So that, I'm glad they had that conversation because that could be a problem. Those are their pet or fur babies. So that could be a problem if you say, oh no, your big ass dog can't sleep in the bed with me, okay? Like, I feel like I'm so far from y'all. Then Katie had the nerve to be like, well, it's not really the nerve, but she was like she needed to get, find some adjustments. She needed to figure out what she was going to do about her private time. Like, I need to regroup, to revitalize, to recharge. I do need my alone time. So I totally understand that. But Katie, girl, it's too soon. Y'all ain't even a week, 2 weeks in yet. You talking about, I wasn't expecting all of this. I wasn't expecting for him to be everywhere all the time. I went to take a shower and he went to get in. Y'all still on your honeymoon. It ain't like y'all at home. As soon as you get home, I'm sure that's going to change. I did write down that I was glad that she articulated the fact that she is going to need some alone time, that she needs her space so that she can be a better her. You know what I'm saying? She might be an ambivert. I'm an ambivert. Sometimes I'm an extrovert. Sometimes I'm an introvert. Leave me the fuck alone. And I really feel like that is what Katie is. Okay, so back at home, when they get home and the trip is over, the plan for the couples is to go from the airplane to the new apartment that the Married at First Sight producers and directors or whomever got together so that they can live together in cohesion and then go to one another's houses to get their things. They go straight to the new place. They look around a little bit and then go to bed because, that's a long flight and we's tired. We want to go to bed. The next morning, they first go to Derek's place. Derek has roommates, okay? So, listen, it is a big change from having roommates to having a spouse. Just like it is a huge change from living with someone to living alone. It's an adjustment that you have to make. So she goes through his drawers and sees the wad of cash and a gun. And I was like, okay, Ashton Kutcher, you know, because that's what he looked like. And he was like, well, it's a toy gun, and even with a toy gun, it'll scare a robber or intruder or whatever. Well, now you done told the world that it's fake. So, baby, let me tell you, it ain't gonna scare nobody. They're gonna boop-bop you in your head and take the wad of cash that's in your nightstand. A little bit too much information. Some things we need to pull back on. But I can understand you keeping cash unless you don't have a bank account. If you don't have a bank account, then you really aren't ready for a relationship. But I can understand you having some cash on you. I mean, the type of men that I've dated in my lifetime like to keep cash, have bank accounts, but also like to cash and carry, if that makes sense. Now we go to Katie's house, and I couldn't remember if Katie owned her home or if she had roommates, but from what I could see, it didn't look like it. There was a J on the door. Maybe that was for Jax the dog. One of y'all remind me, does Katie live alone? Is this her own place? Because she did talk about meeting all the milestones, and this is just one, you know, this is just the one that she has to meet next, right? Well, listen, Pastor Cal comes over for a visit, okay? Talks to them and sees how they're doing. And I don't know which one of y'all has said that it was lust. I think all of y'all said it was lust, but one of them made mention that they had a very surface, very shallow connection, which was pretty much sexual all by itself. And I want to say that it was Derek based on my notes, because he's the one that said we have gone as far as we could as it relates to connection on the honeymoon. Because right now all we have was, getting to know each other, talking and kikiing and ha-haing and having a lot of sex. Which you could do with a stranger, okay? I don't know how many of y'all ever been on a trip, met somebody and, had a good time. I mean, you can judge me, don't judge me, I don't care. But that's the thing. That's the thing. She actually said that he told her they feel like they're just roommates, and she said that they were roommates when in fact that they're husband and wife. And I mean, that would take me aback. That would make me feel some kind of way. Not only that, she said that he said that he wasn't sure if he would be able to love her. Is that right? Let me see. He wasn't sure if he's able to love her, and that it's going to take some time. It's a short period of time. And I felt like that was smart for him to say. However, I don't know any fellas. I think I've said this before on a different review. Hell, it might have been Married at First Sight last season. It might even have been what's that called? Ready to Love. But from my understanding, a man knows if you are marriage material within 30 days. If you guys are hanging and talking and all of that, he knows if you're marriage material within 30 days, and he knows whether or not he wants to marry you within 6 months. So it don't take a whole lot. But he did say 6 months to a year, and he, it'd probably take him 6 months to a year to be in love to fall in love with someone. And I'm glad that Pastor Cal was like, yo, it's not falling, it's growing, it's getting to know each other. I mean, they are complete strangers. If you think about when you love somebody, what do? You get to know them, hang out, laugh, find their quirks, what you don't like, what you do like. But it is over time that you realize that you are in love with this person. Katie shared about her little situation prior to getting married at first sight. And Pastor Cal straight up asked her, well, do you still have feelings? And she said, yeah. Listen, I mean, y'all could be side-eyeing her, but y'all know that the way she was crying and the way she was feeling and how she wanted that person to love her, that she had strong feelings for him. And so those feelings are not going to instantaneously go the fuck away. Like, you gotta work through it, and then hearing your new husband saying that he don't know if he could love you, shit. I mean, really, you feeling like, did I make the right decision? I should have went back to the nigga that said that he loved me, but he didn't love me. Girl, it's a whole bunch of a mess. This background is so plain, I don't think that I'm gonna be able to sit here. I mean, y'all ain't got nothing but me as a focal point. I mean, I should be the focal point, but I feel like there should be something around. Child. Anyway, I don't know about Derek and Katie. I don't know if they gonna make it. I think that they looking for two separate things. He ain't even never been in love. He shouldn't even have done this. He should have just went on something like, will you be my girlfriend? Some shit like that. Or did Temptation Island and been one of the singles. Had himself a good time, because he's not ready for marriage. And then neither is she. If she's all teeter-tottering from the nigga that she was dealing with from before, or from the dude she was dealing with from before, like, these people is all messed up. Well, let's keep going. Okay, so let's go on to another Katie and Derek were semi-easy. Let's go to Austin and Jessica, who are very easy thus far. So in episode 6, finally Jessica admits that sex is good, okay? She don't have no complaints. As a matter of fact, neither of them have any complaints. They're pretty much on the same page, and specifically with their beliefs. Like, they both believe in God but don't go to church. And so that's one of the biggest things in a relationship, especially a new relationship, considering these people don't know each other. I'm sure that the experts thought about that, took that into consideration, the fact that they need to at least have the same kind of belief system and values, because, honey, next thing you know, if I'm Jewish and you're agnostic, or I'm agnostic and you Jewish, or I'm part of the Orisha tradition and you Christian, listen, what's going to happen? It's going to be a problem when it comes to what we believe in and how we're rearing our children, if you understand what I'm saying. I don't know if you've ever experienced it. Like, I've dated a Muslim being a believer. I mean, our belief system is different. I used to think to myself all the time, well, he ain't gonna cover me with the blood of Jesus. Like, that's what I know when we pray, because we both pray, you know, in different manners, but he ain't covering me with the blood of Jesus. Like, that was my thought process. And so that's the things that you would have to, hurdles that you would have to climb if it's an issue for you, because I believe as long as you have some type of spiritual background, we on the same page, okay? Because spirituality comes in different shapes and sizes. I believe that there is only one God. We just call him different names. Okay, let's just keep going. You know, and what Jessica said was, what I think a lot of us as women do is that in previous relationships, she said she was always waiting on the bomb to drop, and that there were always red flags, like looking for the red flags instead of, you know, living in the moment and living for the positive. Now listen, Jessica, don't ignore no red flags now. Just don't overdo it. Don't overanalyze. But them red flags in the beginning, we need to be watching out for them, honey. It's like when you start your period and you see some spots, you see some spot and it's red, you know the blood is coming. I know it was the blood. Just like them red flags. They start shooting up. You better pay attention, because they mean something is going to happen. Okay, maybe that's just me. Y'all let me know if you agree with me down below in the comments. Okay, so now in episode 7, like I said before, everybody goes straight to the apartment. They actually have a little back and forth about who getting a bigger closet. Austin, if you don't take several seats, you know that damn well that Jessica getting a bigger closet. I guess you realized that when you went over to her house and saw the amount of things that she had. But hold on, I'm getting beside myself. I like that Jessica put him closest to the door as the protector. Like, if something's going on, you better protect us. It's not me protecting you, it's you protecting us. Hello, somebody. When I got married, my husband moved in with me to my apartment, and I still stayed though closest to the door because I was comfortable with it. I had been there. I had been protecting the house. But I'm sure if the shit hit the fan, he would have hopped over. Like, listen, he was a big man, but he was very, very, very limber. When they go to Austin's house, it is a bachelor pad, though it is relatively neat for a bachelor pad. It's, you know, she gives him the okay. He wasn't as messy as she thought he was gonna be. Like when the first night and his clothes were on the floor, and she said, "I just picked him up and put him in the hamper." Now I want y'all to know that that's gonna get on her nerves. Pick up your clothes. Didn't your mama tell you to pick up your clothes? That's why I be yelling at these kids of mine, especially that little one. Pick up your clothes off the floor and put them in the hamper. Like, what's the problem? Well, then we get over to Jessica's house and she's packing stuff. And as women do, we need everything under the sun. Shoes to match the outfit. We need several outfits to go through. And he's all like, she's taking everything. Now, listen, don't be passing judgment because she's going through her whole closet and she needs all the accessories and all the perfumes. We need all that. You want her to smell good, don't you? You like the way she puts herself together, don't you? All of this is required. So be quiet, Austin. You know, she's like, the watermelon go. He didn't know the watermelon don't need to go. The watermelon needs to come so that it doesn't go bad and we have fruit flies at my house when I come back. We're going to take the watermelon. We're going to eat the watermelon. I'm glad that she took the watermelon. Now, when Pastor when Pastor Cal goes to visit them, they relatively don't have any issues. He asks them about their sexual situation, and they know that he alludes, and they tell him that that they are in a good place sexually. They started talking about, have you had the real conversations about finances? And what we find out is that Austin makes less money than Jessica. Well, Jessica's a nurse, and Austin just started in his field, which I can't remember what it is. Getting his foot in the door. She's all like, well, he has a plan, so it's not going to bother me for long. You know, because he has a plan. But baby, if we're going to be honest, listen, it's going to get on her nerves if she has to carry the weight for too long, if it doesn't look like progression or progress is being made. And I like that he says, I don't want, you know, if we decide that 50% of our check is going to go into our joint account, which I absolutely love, I don't want my 50% is less than hers. I want it to be a dollar amount so that it's an equal amount, because I don't want her to feel like she's carrying all the weight. Which I absolutely love, because they don't have any type of relationship yet. And because of that, I don't want to be taking care of no man. Like, I ain't invested with you. You ain't proved nothing yet. So I admire that about him. I do like that they said we're going to have separate accounts and we're going to have a joint account. Because if I ever get married again or in a relationship, well, if I put my name on something with you, we married, we're going to have a household account, a household savings account, household checking, household saving. And then each of us have our own personal accounts, because you ain't finna be telling me what to do with my money. All this money I made. If I want to save all of it, I save all of it. If I want to go and buy me a brand new YSL bag or go get me a Chanel with my money, hopefully you buy me a Chanel. Nevertheless, I can, because it's my money. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, as long as he does what he says and he progresses like he's supposed to, I don't see that money will be an issue for them. But if he does not live up to what he says, baby, let me tell you, take it from me, money becomes a serious hindrance, blockage in your marriage. Take it from me personally. Y'all better go check out my 3-part marriage series I did about my marriage, because honey, to tell you everything about you in my marriage, everything about me in my marriage. Listen, we definitely gonna have to find us a place, because this couch is not comfortable for filming like this. I'll have to figure something out. Y'all just stay tuned, okay? Listen, let's go on to Mindy and Zach. This fuck clusterfuck. You know what I'm trying to say. Well, they wake up and they get dressed. It's the last day, and we see he definitely doesn't listen to her, because they were talking about showers. And guess what? She's like, I get red from so hot. And then 5 minutes later, he asked her, did she take a shower? And the reason he asked is because, you know what, Mindy, you nasty. You don't be taking showers before you go to bed. Like, you don't know this man. Y'all ain't in that place where you could just climb in the bed with your dirty body germs. Girl, take a shower every chance you get, every time you walk in there. It ain't like it's your house. Oh, I know you're probably doing water conservation, child. Don't judge me. I don't care. If I don't know you, we taking a bunch of showers. If it was me, I'd be taking a shower when I wake up, before I go to bed, when we come in from the room, because I want to be fresh. I want to be the scent flowing through the house, like through the hotel room and all that. Like, I guess that's just me. Anyway, so on the last night at dinner, it's just her and Zach. And Zach ain't wearing his fucking ring. And I thought to myself, is it strategic? Because he keeps talking about he keeps forgetting to put it on. Why are you taking it off? We've already discussed it. Like, some people do because of allergic reactions. It's uncomfortable, whatever. But Zach, I think you taking it off on purpose. Are you sending subliminal messages? Like, are you pulling a fucking, what's his face? A mic? Like, this is stupid to me. We get back to this, you know, whole, I want to build an attraction to you. I want to miss you. Do I miss you? Do I want to call you? Am I excited about seeing you? You just met her 7 days ago, and you already talking about that's how you gonna know if you built an attraction to her. You don't even like her. You don't like nothing about her. It's nothing you gonna miss. You don't like her jokes. You don't like her quirkiness. You don't like nothing about her ice skater frame. There is nothing about her, that her dark features that you said you liked at first. You know what? Just stop playing, and stop playing all of us. Like, we ain't stupid. I wrote down, because this is episode 6, I was like, I cannot wait till they get to the experts. And you can see the disappointment in her face while he's talking, and how he's talking about this fucking attraction building thing. Like, he just needs to shut up. It's time to just shut up. You don't like her. You done told her that like 80, 50, 11 times. Be quiet now. How much more do you want to hurt her? You know, she even thought, what more can I do? You want me to get a boob job? Like, it's too much, Zach. You're an asshole. Mindy gets back to the room. Zach's wandering around somewhere because he talking about it shouldn't be this hard. No, it shouldn't be this hard. You're making it hard on everybody. It's hard for me to watch. So she calls Dr. Viviana. And I don't know, Dr. Viviana, you know, she voices her concerns about him, talking about him not building an attraction. He's not attracted to her. Blah, blah, blah. You know, that really hurts. You ain't found nothing about me you like. You don't like my smile. You don't like my laugh. You don't like the way I walk. You don't like how I eat. You don't like nothing about me. It ain't nothing that you could just, you know, build on. I know you fucking lying. Viviana, okay, Dr. Viviana, come with this bullshit about she believes that he's caring and has a kind side, but is not willing to show her yet. Oh, okay. Well, when we gonna see it? Because I ain't even see it when he was talking to the homies, okay? When he was talking to his mama and them, okay? I didn't even see it then. Did you see it? Because I didn't see it. I saw the facade. He had me fooled with them vows. Got on that one knee, talking about, will you marry me? Like, I was moved, but he was acting. He was acting. At this point, I feel like Zach and Mindy are in more trouble than Mike and Mika. Now, that's got to tell you something. Because when we get to Mike and Mika, you can see that they're working through their issues. Zach and Mindy are just going down the drain fast, flush down the toilet quickly. I really feel like Mindy at this point needs to quit asking. He keeps giving her the same answer, and she keeps adding insult to injury. The more she asks what she can do, you know, all this other stuff, all she's doing is causing herself more anxiety, and looking bad, you know, having herself look bad for herself. She's hurting herself at this point. Like, at this point, you can't ask him no more, because he's gonna keep giving you the same answers, and all you're gonna do is keep getting your feelings hurt, is what I'm trying to say. So, you know, let it play out how it is. And so when we get to episode 7, honey baby, let me tell you, she goes to the apartment all by herself. There is no fucking Zach. She said that Zach told her that he wasn't ready to move in together. Wait a minute now, didn't you know what the process was? You've seen the show before. Before they started, they gave you the rundown. They told you how things were going to go. They told you what you were going to be doing and what was expected of you. You were well aware, but you've decided to take it upon yourself to go back to your house and sleep with your big ass dog in the bed. Something ain't right about him. Not only is he not attracted to her, I think that, you know, he may be sexually fluid. I think he may be sexually fluid, y'all. I really do. If not fluid, all the way on the other side. I'm just calling a spade a spade. You can agree with me or not, but I want you to do that down below in the comments. Because after I saw him in the bed with the dog, and he got out the bed, I thought, oh yeah, you're not attracted to her because she doesn't carry the tools that you need. I literally wrote down, my heart breaks for her because she's committed to the process and is really trying. Like, she really wanted this to work for her. She really came into this process probably like most women, hopeful. Like, the men probably are being picked up off the street. The women, however, are actually going in on their own. I mean, we're a little more adventurous when it comes to this kind of stuff. At least I say. So Mindy said she moved in, you know, in hopes that he would, you know, that he would come along. And I'm all like, I think she might be a little delusional. It's really time for the experts to step in. It's really time to see what's really happening between the two of them. And so she's having dinner with her friend and has to share this hurtful information with her friend. Tell her friend that the man said he wasn't attracted to me, that he didn't move in, that this isn't what he wanted to do. And you know how we are as friends. We protective of the people that we love. Honey, and you know how we are with our friends. You know, she reassured her. You is smart. You is kind. You is important. Because she knows her friend better than anybody, right? She knows that her friend is going to overanalyze this entire situation. I mean, who wouldn't? I know I would. No, I don't know if I would overanalyze it. I'd probably be like, fuck you and the set you claim. Like, I would probably go, you want to rumble with the bee, huh? Like, I would probably act a stone cold fool. Like, not really, but really show him like, you're not attracted to me. You might be attractive, or you might be an attractive man, but I'm not attracted to your attitude, and that's enough to turn me off, okay? You're turning me off, not on. You're turning me off. Like, what the fuck? You know, but Mindy still is willing to give it a try. She's vested in the process, and her friend just said it just as plain as day. Honey, nothing but facts stated here. Nothing but truth with facts running through it. How about that? She said his actions speak of a person's character. Actions speak of a person's character. Let that sink in. The way he's being, how rude he is being, how inconsiderate he is being, how nonchalant he is being, just his whole attitude tells you that he's an asshole, a fucking dickwad. Like, well, Pastor Cal goes and visits with Mindy, and she shares her situation. What's going on. And I'm so glad that he explained to her that being attractive is not the same thing as having an attraction. Reassuring her again, providing her with validation that she is an attractive woman. Not to mention in his little sidebar, he was like, well, for him to say that he has no attraction to her, what he said he was attracted to was intelligence and drive. So I'm confused. Like, I need to get to the bottom of this, okay? Because he's a liar. He's a liar. He's a liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Like, that's how I feel about fucking Zach. Well, you know, Pastor Kyle's like, you know what, now I need to talk to Zach. I want to talk to him alone. I want him to be able to be honest and open up and tell me what's really going on. He doesn't know how he doesn't know how to say that his affinity is elsewhere, that he's sexually fluid and only likes women when he gets pissy drunk. Oh, that's mean. But shit, if you disagree with me, do it down below in the comments. Listen, to each their own, but don't be stringing nobody along for exposure, for your brand. That's not fair. Well, Zach goes ahead and says the shit he's been saying, that he's struggling with attraction to her. That he doesn't have any chemistry with her. Even Pastor Cal is looking at him like he doesn't understand. Like, what? Like, chemistry can grow, attraction grows. You have to get to know a person, get beyond the surface. Like, because he's going in circles. You got me going in circles. Like, one minute he's saying how brilliant she is and how people like her, and in the next breath, I'm not attracted to her, but she cute. What? He goes on to say, it feels like there's something missing. Y'all, my mind went straight to a penis. I ain't right. I know I ain't right, but that's how I feel. I'm at that point where, y'all remember how I was like, oh my God, he was so genuine. He was so genuinely full of shit. Now I'm all like, listen, no holds bar. I'm taking off the gloves. Dude, you something else. So Pastor Kai asked him, do you want to keep going? This dude's so full of shit that he says yes, but no, kind of. That's how I feel. He should have just came out and been like, no, this isn't for me, and I'm stringing her along. It's not fair to her, and it's not fair to himself. Like, why would you put yourself through that? Oh, they do anything for clout. Ain't that how it go? They do anything for clout. Yeah, I think that's how it go. So then they meet up together with Pastor Cal. And Pastor Cal asked Mindy, what does she want? And she's like, I want to give it a go. Mindy, why? Why? Now you're starting to seem desperate. Okay, you signed up for it. Is this what they told you had to do, that you couldn't walk away from some shit? Somebody tell me why she would just continue to torture herself like she is. Like, it must be in the contract that you can't walk away, that you got to stick around for something. I mean, because I'd probably stick around, but just be cool. Listen, you sleep on the couch, I sleep in here in the bed. will meet up and pretend when the cameras are around or some shit. I don't know. Or be honest when the cameras are around. I don't know. But I'm not going to waste my time on somebody that can't even see themselves becoming attracted to me. Like, they won't even give it a shot. He went on to say that she was smart and pretty and people like her, etc., etc. You know, she was smiling and shit. Like, I'm all like, how are you missing these flags? This is a problem. This is an emotionally abusive, emotionally draining relationship. He's going to be downing you, and you're going to be constantly trying to figure out how you can please him. That is not a healthy relationship for anybody. When Pastor Cal says, okay, so are you going to move in? I mean, shit, everybody understands what the process is. We told you what the process was. We told you what it is. And for you to be like, no, I need my space, man, what are we doing? What are we doing? Somebody tell me, what are we doing? He says, you know, I want to miss her. That's how I know if I'm attracted to her. I want to be excited to see her. And Pastor Cal, y'all better catch it. He said, yes, absence makes the heart go fonder, but it will also make the heart wander. Y'all better catch that while he's throwing it, because I know I did. You know, you think, oh, you in this long distance relationship and he misses you. Nah, bitch, he got a whole nother thing going on. We got a thing going on. You know, and Pastor Cal is like, you know, though this is the prescription that we told you about, what you agreed to, we're not into forcing people to do things that they don't want to do. So, you know, they allow the separate living situation. And, you know, shit, what's her face? Mindy's like, shit, well, I'm gonna just stay here by myself then. I mean, it's paid for. Ain't they getting paid too for being there? Because they got to still cover their own expenses. Come on, y'all, let's talk Mika and Michael. Because honestly, Eminem weren't really the worst couple these 2 episodes. I mean, Brandon and Taylor and Zach and Mindy, honey, are fighting them for first place. I mean, Mika and Michael are definitely on the mend. Now, I forgot all about the boat ride, child, on the catamaran to the private island where they were in the water and all. I forgot all about that, child, but it wasn't really much exciting there. There is something that I will point out, but not for them. Only thing I'm going to say is Mika and Michael did not go on that trip. They decided that they needed some alone time to really get to know one another, because they were still sleeping in separate beds, separate suites, you know, and it was awkward. And Mike understood that they needed to find some sort of common ground, and they agreed the best way to do that is for them to go hang out in Panama, on the streets of Panama together. So I wanted to say, you guys keep saying that, you know, he seems to be on the spectrum. When I find out that he teaches special needs, I don't remember that before, but it was pointed out. I realize, you know, the people that you spend a lot of time with, you pick up their behaviors and their patterns so that you can speak their language. And maybe that's what we're seeing. Maybe he's not necessarily on the spectrum himself, but has picked up characteristics of his students. I mean, he probably spends more time with them than he does at home or with his other family members. That's just a thought. But I could be wrong, and I'm sure you guys can let me know down below in the comments if you still stand firm that he quite possibly could be on the spectrum. Just high functioning. Excuse me. All I said about her was that she doesn't seem interested in anything that he's saying. She still seems really guarded in this episode still. But I was also glad that she realized eventually that she was standing in her own way of building a relationship with them. Maybe it took her a minute, like most of us, to really, you know, take a look and see what's happening and be like, oh, you know what, maybe it's me, maybe I need to let my walls down. So I'm glad that she recognizes that she does play a part in why there is no cohesion between the two of them. So it's the last night, and Mike seems to be a glutton for punishment too, because he's asking for a temperature gauge about how she feels, where they are. She's asking about expectations. Listen, this conversation didn't work well for y'all before. Right now, y'all just need to be working on friendly conversations, okay? Because and wait for the experts so that you guys can have common ground and somebody as a mediator so that you guys speak the same language and can understand what each other is saying. Okay? Listen, just stop. Temperature gauges and expectations. Just be frolicking around and playing patty cake for now. Okay? What's your favorite color? What kind of food you like to eat? What school did you go to? You know, all that kind of stuff. What was your favorite movie? Stay in that realm, please, because y'all don't do too well when you get down into the nitty-gritty of things. So I say. And I also like that he said, you know, we have to make time for one another. We need to be intentional with the time that we spend with one another and make time. And I like that. I was like, he might be a little off, but he's trying. Now, Mika, honey, I just, you see how I stuttered there? I'm just confused about you. You said, you know, because he asked, I guess, about how they were feeling about moving in with one another, and she just straight out was like, I got some house etiquette. Like, I thought she's controlling and she's fucking immature. Like, she was like, clean up after yourself. I think that he's an adult. I mean, and I get that some people don't, but that's not something. All I ask is that you clean up after yourself. Most of the bed belongs to me. We need to put our phones down during conversations. That was not a bad one, but I think it was more her delivery than anything else. It wasn't what she said, but how she said it that probably rubbed me the wrong way. Honey, and she said, if you gotta get up early, don't wake me up. Like, tiptoe around the house. I know you fucking lying. Well, you know, as unrealistic as it was, he said to her, something about you tells me that you're my person. No, it's just that you're in the process and you really want it to work because it hasn't worked with anyone else, or you haven't had much luck. Even though I really want everybody to find their person, I want you to find your person, I want us all to find our person, but I don't think this is it for them. But it moved her enough to give him a hug, and so I guess that's, you know, that's progress, right? So it's the last night, and he asked if we could sleep together in the same suite, and they say, yeah. Baby, let me tell you something. She said, you got to put on the robe and sleep in the robe. I know you fucking lying. I got to sleep in my robe, and you want a barricade. When I tell you that this woman has control issues, she has control fucking issues. When I watch episode number 7, the first thing I write down is I don't like them as a match. I don't like them as a match. Now, some of the things change as we go along, but I really, literally, the first thing I wrote down was I don't like them as a match. They go to Mika's house first, right? And, you know, he's looking around, trying to get a feel for her, looks at her stuff. Granted, you know, the producers are probably telling him to do that, and she's all like, it's creepy that he's looking around. Girl, this is your husband, and how else is he gonna know anything about you? Because you guys have not spent any quality time, real quality time together. You've been beefing your whole honeymoon, so he has to see what he can find about you, gather about you up in this house. Am I tripping, y'all? Let me know if I'm tripping, because I thought she was wrong for that. I just don't like her attitude towards him. If she doesn't want to do this, she shouldn't do it. I'm just here to tell you that's how I feel. Then they go to Michael's house, and she fucking picks him apart. Everything apart. She complains too much, and I feel like she wants to change him instead of having compromise, and that their two lives meld or mold together. Marriage is about compromising, communication, and commitment. Y'all don't communicate well. There is no compromise. And Michael has gotten out of the commitment because he took his ring off because he thought he was failing. Y'all are failing all 3 of the C's. Somebody, anybody, help them. Help them, quick. Well, thank God Pastor Cal goes to visit them at the new place, baby, because they are in real trouble otherwise. So when they start talking, she talks about, you know, how she's been in her own way. That's how she starts off. And again, I commend anybody who can see when they stand in their own way. A lot of times we place blame on someone else. So that actually is a lot of growth for anybody, for that matter, me included. When I can take responsibility of my own behavior, that says a lot. They started saying, you know, we started taking our time and talking as friends and getting to know one another. And, you know, Pastor Cal said, well, have you guys talked finances? And they were like, yeah, he makes more money than me and I'm okay with that. And it's a considerable amount because, of course, he just got a promotion at his job. And now he's making twice as much as he did. And Pastor Cal tells the truth. Money does matter to the wife. I don't care what y'all say. Money matters. Money definitely matters to a traditional woman. Where, listen, because I don't want to be carrying you. I don't want to. That's not the way I'm set up. Me personally. I don't know about y'all. Like, if we've been in a relationship, though, if we're married and we've been in a relationship and I have to carry us for a while, so be it. My plan is not to carry us forever. Okay? This is not a long-term solution unless, you know, there was some catastrophic event, etc., etc. But other than that, if you able-bodied, listen, go get a job. Get back on your feet. Start a business. I'll carry us while we're doing all that. Show me you making progress to contribute to the household. Because, baby, I can't. My vagina stopped working real quick. Real quick. You want me to provide, cook, clean, and be a freak? You got me fucked up. We ain't doing all of it because I'm exhausted. You got to pick up the slack. Y'all better hear me when I tell you. When they talk about the children's situation, I love the fact that Mike says he wants to adopt to pay it forward because he was adopted. Now, I was confused, but I think I have it clear now. He was adopted by his aunt after his mother was sick at 9 months. Y'all let me know. Is that right? You know, I thought it was something else. I thought that he was adopted by somebody and then adopted, but his mom got sick and he was adopted by his aunt. Please help me understand that that's right. Please provide me some clarity on that situation. Y'all can help me out down below in the comments. Now, listen, I wrote down Mika is working my last damn nerve, okay? He clearly explained in that moment to Pastor Cal what his intent was, what he meant by it, but she ain't gonna believe it. And I honestly, like, she ain't letting it go. I just want him to say the truth. I just want him to say what he really said. Listen, I really wish that there was a recording of it so we could roll it back one time, because this is getting on my nerves. Now, I'm not saying that Mike wasn't disrespectful and said, hey, if we leave Panama and ain't have sex, this ain't gonna work. I'm not saying that that's not what he said, but what I am saying is that this man is trying to make amends for his mishap, the misunderstanding, because nobody who really meant that would be trying so hard to right his wrong, to set the record straight. And y'all could get mad at me for saying that she is unwavering and unforgiving. I still stand by that, because that man has apologized, has restated, has tried to clear up several different times in the last 7 days, and we still in the same place. I know you fucking lying. She says because it's difficult to trust him. I can't trust him. Well, you're building some trust, and right now you ain't giving it a shot. This relationship ain't gonna go past week 2 at this rate. Y'all gonna be in a bad space if you keep harping on this and not accepting what he says to you right now. Oh, it made you feel good that he was crying and he was showing a more vulnerable side. He was frustrated. He had already said that he felt like a failure and he wasn't living up to his own expectations. So it took him to cry for you to feel like it was okay to accept him and what he was saying. Listen, I'm gonna just tell y'all a secret. Let me share something with you that I found out in my own marriage, where I found out the hard way. A man feels bad enough when he doesn't measure up, when he's not a provider, when he's not performing, when he does not meet his own expectations. He is beating himself up way more than we could ever do with our yak, our nagging, our bitching, our moaning, our complaining. Y'all could be mad at me if you want to, but I'm telling you the truth. And this is proof right here. This man is crying. His mama did say he was a little sensitive and everything. But because he's failing himself. He didn't need her after she expressed her disdain. Once she did that, he didn't need her to beat him up more by shutting him out and all that. He had already done it enough. He had mulled over the shit, tossed and turned, was upset with himself enough, like feeling like his one and only chance, his shot has been thrown out the window. Y'all better catch it while I'm throwing it, honey, because it's good stuff. You better believe me when I tell you it's the truth. Pay attention to your man. He already feels like shit when he is not measuring up to what you think he should be. Just think about how he feels. He's not measuring up to what he wants to be. Huh? Come on, white style coach Talisa Rae, y'all. Come on through at www.talisarae.com. That is my website, honey. Oh, and my podcast, baby, let me tell you, I need to put all them links down below in the comments, because I don't even think y'all knew that was I don't think y'all knew it was up and running, did you? Let's talk about this shit show. Let's talk about Brandon and Taylor. Brandon the narcissist, because the world revolves around him, and if he does not get his way, if things don't operate the way he wants to, he is going to try and manipulate the situation so that it will. He is definitely striking me as a narcissist. Someone else said that last week, and it's clear as day. Anyway, so episode 6. Okay, y'all know they went out on the boat. They went on the catamaran. One thing that I remember is that he said he didn't like that Taylor was always posting on her Instagram. That he didn't understand it, that it was weird. She has a following, okay? Leave her alone, okay? And he said, another thing he said, that he was private. He was private. And he knew he was conscious. He's conscious that he now needs to compromise. That he's not used to being told what he can and cannot do. Who's telling him what he can and cannot do? Is it the producers or is it Taylor? Because she seems as sweet as pie to him. I didn't see her telling him what he could and could not do. Had to be the producers that he was talking about, because of the way things play out as we move forward. And poor Taylor, she doesn't really have a lot of experience. She said she has only had 2 boyfriends, and the last one was absolutely horrible. And he's by far better than him now. And I'm all like, ooh, that says a lot about that last boyfriend, because this one is giving me all kinds of red spots. You know, my period is coming. Flags is what I mean. Be cracking me up, y'all. The shit that be going through my head. And I wrote down, I need to know what happened. What's the situation? How they break up? Why was he so horrible? She takes a picture of her drink, and I felt like at that time was a time that he should bring it up, and he ended up doing that. He did say that she wasn't an IG whore, because she took the picture and put her phone down. She didn't go right into let me post it right away. Like, she took the picture and then was able to live in the moment. Okay, so this is what we really wanted to talk about on episode 6, okay? Brandon is hella off is what I wrote. Hella off. He talks to the producer Brandy and says, where's the food? I thought you said we were going to get some food. Where's the food? What are we supposed to be doing? He said talking to each other. She said talking to each other. So seeing her, Taylor, in there in the room on the bed on her phone, and him walking around with a drink, said to me that their chemistry wasn't as grand as we thought. Like, they seemed disjointed, disconnected in this moment. If he's like fussing about where's the food at and what we supposed to be doing, she was like talking. I'm sorry. If we have to force a conversation, child, there's a problem. If you can't be in the room with me and just wait for the food to come up, there's a problem. Not to mention, you're going to throw a temper tantrum because you got to sit in here and talk with me and the food isn't around. So you want to walk through and bust out the door and go into the hallway and put your hand in front of the camera. You signed up for this shit to be followed around. I don't give a damn how private you are. You ain't that private. And I honestly felt some kind of way. Brandon, a black man, talking to Brandy, a black woman, and the cameraman, who was also a black man, put his hand up in front of the camera, and the dude was like, take your hand down off my equipment. Like, this is my equipment. You know what I'm saying? I think the cameraman Those are their cameras, I believe. Is that correct? And if they're not, then they would have to pay for them. But I believe that those are their cameras that they come with. Yeah. And he said, well, and if I don't, what you gonna do about it? Child, let me tell you something. I'm sure that brother was like, listen, I value my job, but I will fuck you up. Like, I know that that's what he was thinking. Like, how immature are you, Brandon? At this point, I'm like, he definitely needs anger management. And so Taylor says, well, you know what? Let me try and talk to him. And so when she talks to him, she says, I like the kind Brandon. The kind Brandon. This Brandon, I don't like him. I don't like the way that you talk to the crew, the producers. It's uncomfortable. And he took that and went left and said he felt like she didn't like him and didn't want the relationship to continue, didn't want the marriage to continue. Pretty much threw a cold stone fucking tantrum. I thought, this is one bitch ass nigga. And I mean that from the bottom of my soul. Like, who in the fuck does that? Not only that, leaves her to pack up his shit. He leaves his passport. He leaves his ring. Brother man needs anger management. Leaves her to pack his shit. Are you fucking kidding me? I would have sashayed my ass down there with just my bag and my bag alone. Because I am not your maid. I'm not your superwoman. That's how I feel. I'm not the kind of girl that you can and think that everything is okay. Boy, I am only human. You see, I don't know the words because it's been a long time. But I'm just saying, you got me fucked up. Then you go get on the bus and you still acting an ass. And not only that, you say fuck y'all and fuck her. Don't let her, I don't want her sitting next to me. That speaks volumes to me. This is yet another abusive situation. This is not healthy. Now she gonna be afraid because you volatile, because you don't know how to control your anger? Are you kidding me? Is this a joke? Somebody tell me that was staged and it was a joke. But it came because it felt too real. It seemed too accurate. He is super disrespectful. He has crossed the line. I'm your wife. You taking off your ring like the rest of these fools don't mean nothing. I'm your wife. Even if you don't want me to be, I'm your wife and respect me as such. Would you want somebody talking to your mama like that? Your sister like that? Your cousins, your aunties like that? I don't think so. Listen, old Talisa would pop up, honey. I've done a lot of work on myself, okay? You go ahead and tell me fuck me if you want to. Your stuff would have still been up there. They would have been like, could you pack his stuff? And I would have been like, I know you fucking lying. Did you see him? And even if I had packed his stuff to be considerate and kind, when I got on that bus and he treated me the way he did, I probably would have got off the bus, politely pulled his stuff off the bus, got back on the bus, and sat back down. Because I wear a cape and I become super petty. You ain't finna talk to me like that and embarrass me in front of these white people like this. Child. Anyway, honey, we get back to DC. And he don't go to the place, to the house, to the apartment with her. She goes by herself. Alone. Again, somebody else singing all by myself. She said that she had been calling him and texting him and he had not answered. How old are we? And why are you making this woman beg and plead for you? Pretty much her calling and calling and calling is her begging and pleading for you to calm down and to talk to her. She's a gorgeous woman. You ain't really that good looking. Some of these people already think you suspect too, okay? That you and Zach might have a thing going on, okay? That cracked me up. I made that up. But nevertheless, that's the vibe you giving, especially with all this bitch ass attitude you got going. Like, you doing too much, Brandon. Well, Pastor Cal goes and visits Taylor at the new place. She's in her scrub. She done came from work. And Pastor Cal is astonished at his behavior and how he's been acting, how he's acted. Like, it's not acceptable. And you know, Pastor Cal was super disappointed because he's a black man looking at a black man. Looking at a young man, a brother, I'm trying to make things work for you and you embarrassing me like this. Like y'all, I don't know, for people that are not black, when you become a certain age, you start feeling like you're responsible for their behavior when you're in the same place. Like you feel like, I got to pull you together and get you in line. Like, I want you to operate successfully and healthy and happy in a relationship, in society for that matter. And if you're this volatile, there's no way that's going to be. Like, I don't know, y'all, am I tripping? Y'all let me know if I'm tripping down below in the comments. But listen, check this out. So, next thing you know, Brandy come walking in with some flowers talking about he apologized, he's sorry. Child, let me tell you, you and them flowers can turn the fuck around. Because to me, it's a pattern. You feel like you can mistreat me and all it's going to take is an apology, a semi-sincere apology, and I'm going to be okay. This is not okay. This is the second time that you've done some fuckboy shit and thought that an apology was enough. Oh yeah, you look better with your beard gone. You don't have that scruffy look no more. But just apologizing with some flowers does not work for me. It's a pattern. It's blood. We spotting. I see red. It's flags. Oh, y'all can see I'm a little bothered by his behavior. I'd be damned if my sons go somewhere acting like that, treating their women like that. I'd be damned if I would allow that. You need some therapy, son. Did I already say? Because I'm reading my notes and I looked down and I said his behavior is indicative of an abusive person, an abusive personality. Apologies are fixing everything. I know I said that, but I'm not sure if I said, you know, because that's what abusers do. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, I'm sorry, forgive me, I'm sorry. Anyway, so when they sit and they begin to talk, he says, I don't know, I wrote down, I don't want to be bothered with someone who's an asshole. Did she say that or is that me saying that? Are you going to walk out when things get rough? That's what he said. He said, are you going to walk out when things get rough? He felt like she took the side of the producers and like, are you going to leave me when things get rough? No, that's your dumb ass. When things get rough, you walk away, you shut down. I feel like you don't see no value in her. So Pastor Cal says to him, you know what? I feel like you lash out before anyone else does. It's like you try to beat them to the punch so that you have a one-up on them. So yeah, you apologize, but I need you to acknowledge and take responsibility for the part that you played, because apologizing is not enough. Shit, I don't even want you to take accountability or acknowledge the shit, because this is a pattern. This is the second time that this was your MO, that this is the way you act. I don't want to be in a relationship like this. And that's pretty much what Taylor said. But I did write down she has a forgiving spirit. Her heart is good. She really is kind. And when she said that last boyfriend was horrible, he must have been real degrading or slightly abusive for her to be able to take this shit and be quick to forgive. Like, if this is nothing in comparison to the last boyfriend. You know, pretty women always have problems with men. I mean, it's just a thing. I don't know what that is. I mean, look at Halle Berry. Pretty women always have an issue with relationships. Look at me. Oh, I crack me up. But I am telling the truth, and I think I'm absolutely gorgeous. So, yeah. So as they sat there, you know, he did acknowledge his part and what he did and how it was unacceptable. What he should have said was, Pastor Cal, I'm going to get me some therapy too, because I have anger issues. I have anger issues. He has low-key trust issues. So, I mean, the world revolves around him. I guess, you know, is he... Oh, he's not an only child, but after his brother passed, he was the only child left. So his mother probably did do a lot of coddling and just, you know, covering, and allowed a lot of shit that she probably would not have allowed had his older brother had not passed away. Right? Anyway, so he had them say some vows. Specifically, Brandon. He said he vowed to be respectful and her confidant, to be a husband and a better Brandon. I guess I didn't write much about their apartments or nothing, because Brandon has a roommate and an air purifier. We didn't make it over the, yeah, he wanted to take the air purifier. They met up to go to Brandon's house to get his stuff to his house or whatever. You know, she seems a little standoffish, a little skeptical, you know, a little cautious when she's at his house. But you know, we haven't seen what's in her house yet. Okay, so that's where we leave off. Okay, that's the end, and I do believe Brandon and Taylor were the last couple on episode 7. I think so. I think I covered everything. What I didn't cover, y'all let me know down below in the comments. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what happened, because it was a whole lot of fuckboy shit, a whole lot of tornadoes, a whole lot of desperation. At least that's how I feel, okay? Listen, if it's your first time visiting my channel, go ahead, click that red subscribe button and become a ray of sunshine. Right next to that subscribe button, the rectangular one, there's a notification bell. You'd want to click it so you know when I upload my Married at First Sight reviews. Listen, I am going to upload tomorrow's, at least by Thursday, no later than Friday. Cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye. Lastly, because you like me and I know it's real, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Yes, hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll catch you on the next video.